Okay, what's up, Guardians? Well, the big reveal is here, and we've got our first look at the September update and next expansion for Destiny 2. It's called Forsaken, and it'll include a new story campaign, new destinations, a new raid, a new PvP mode, new supers, gear and weapons, and more. Let's start with story. Mew and Cayde 6 head to the reef and find that the Prison of Elders has been cracked wide open, leaving the scum of the universe to pour out. There are 8 big bads, which Bungie are calling Barons, and each sit atop a ruthless gang of outer space criminals. You'll have to hunt each one of these Barons down and collect the bounty on their head. The devs describe Forsaken as a Western revenge story, which, as a hunter, I can tell you I wholeheartedly approve of. There's no mention of how many missions there are, or if we'll meet any of the recognizable figures from the reef, fan favorite Mara Sov in particular. A now debunked leak suggested that the story would revolve around the royal siblings Mara Sov and Prince Uldren, but it looks like that won't be the case, as far as we know. Hopefully, we'll at the very least get to pay our respects to the Queen. On to locations. The first is the Tangled Shore. This is the big PvE location of the expansion. They describe it as a collection of lashed-together asteroids and rocks with tumbleweeds. From what we've seen in the reveal, it does have a high plains, deep space cowboy kind of vibe going. All that's missing are a few cactuses. The next spot is the raid location, the Dreaming City. This looks like it's straight out of Prince of Persia. You'll be able to visit it and explore it as an open world location in addition to doing the raid there. It'll also change over time according to the devs. How exactly it'll change, we don't know yet. Okay, so what about enemies? It's hard to tell from the footage, and they did not do a playthrough, but from what we see, it looks like there's quite a bit of reskinning going on. There's mention of a group called the Scorn, but if they were going to debut a new enemy type, it probably would have been more front and center. We also learned that the Barons each come in a different flavor, with sniper, melee, and heavy variants. Your Guardian will be getting some changes too, with new weapons, subclasses, and an overhaul to the weapons system. Top of the list is randomization coming back to all weapons. No 2 guns will feel alike. This will encourage some grinding and make repeat drops more than just raw materials to be broken down. Now, they didn't show off any new or returning exotics, but did unveil new changes to weapon slots, opening up more options for players. You want to roll with 3 shotguns? Well, now you can. There's one stray shot where it appears that the Thorn makes a comeback. I can't quite tell from the footage. We'll just have to wait and see if it does. Now, they also debuted a new weapon type, bows and arrows. Again, as a hunter, I approve of this. No idea if they'll do exploding or flaming arrows, but those would be nice. We'll also be getting some new subclasses. No word on how many, but the product page for the expansion lists 9 new supers. That is a lot, 3 per class. They showed off 1 for each of them. Hunters are getting flaming knives instead of the golden gun. Titans will be getting a big ol' hammer, and Warlocks will be getting a new teleporting ability. Count on that one dominating the Crucible. They may have gone back and tweaked some of the old supers, as you can see in this clip. The Hunter deflecting projectiles with the arc staff. Could you always do that? Can somebody check the Carfax on that for me? Alright, so what about this new mode? Well, it's called Gambit, and it's a hybrid PvE-PvP mode. 2 teams will face off in separate arenas. You'll kill bots for tokens, and then you can deposit in a bank. Once deposited, you can shut down the other team's bank and summon a high-level enemy into their arena. You can also even send over one of your players to wreak havoc on theirs. Should be fun invading with a Hammer Soul or Storm Trains. Okay, that's the big stuff covered. They'll be doing some quality of life changes, like adding bulk shader deletion. They dropped some hints about collectible lore. They'll be expanding vault space, and they'll be retooling item menus for more streamlined organizing. Okay, here's the part that you are not going to like. How much it's going to cost. Now, given the fact that the game's been so mismanaged up to this point, and the DLC so very disappointing, you'd think Bungie would think twice before going straight for our wallets. Well, you'd be wrong. The DLC will cost a whole $40 to play. That's almost the cost of the full game. They're bundling the entire thing together, the main game, Curse of Osiris and Warmind, and Forsaken for $70. There's also another version with some bonus items for $80. Now, it may just be me, but I think when you burn your audience so badly that they leave your game en masse, the last thing you should do is hit up the people who stayed for even more money. Forsaken should be free. That's my personal opinion. I realize Bungie is a business, but you still need to win hearts and minds, and especially bring Guardians who've dropped out back into the fold. This, to me, doesn't feel like the way to do that. I'll reserve total judgment until I get to play Forsaken on September 4th, but I really think Bungie needs to rethink how they engage with their fans. Don't we get anything for our loyalty? I think that we should. Alright, that'll do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check me out elsewhere on social. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Of course, stay tuned for more gaming news and the latest and greatest when it comes to Destiny. Until next time, happy hunting, Guardians.